My baby go!
Anime director Mamoru Hosoda has a knack for family-friendly films, with my personal favorites being The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Wolf Children. But what exactly is a family-friendly film? Is it something appropriate for the family to watch in the living room? What about a distraction movie to keep your kid busy while you work on something else? Well, after watching Mirai, I now realize that the family-friendly genre means that the whole family can connect to the characters and scenarios in some way. With each film, Hosoda chooses a main character with a certain demographic in mind, such as a high school senior becoming an adult, or a single mother. But I'm sure a lot of us out there cannot relate to the latter, which is fine. Not every film is supposed to be relatable. But with Mirai, Hosoda makes the protagonist a 4-year-old boy named Kun. And even though all of us cannot remember our toddler years to the fullest, there's something in there that we can connect with. This couldn't have been pulled off without Kun's parents getting a lot of screen time. We get to see how tiring, frustrating, but also fulfilling it is to be a parent. You see how the mom and dad were raised and why they use similar but not exact copies of their parents' discipline tactics. And at some point they wonder if they're good parents. You see, as a toddler, Kun whines and throws tantrums constantly, and things get worse once he has to become a big brother. Whenever Kun gets mad at his parents, he stomps to the backyard and experiences something strange. Every time Kun comes back from his adventure, he matures just a tiny bit. You gotta remember, he is a 4-year-old. I was very surprised to hear that Kun sounded a lot like an actual child. After doing some research, I found out that he was voiced by a kid, which is quite rare in anime English dubs, but I felt that the whole cast did a great job. Then again, when it comes to a Hosoda film, the dubs are never bad. Another thing I want to point out is the cinematography and animation. Most of the movie takes place in Kun's house, so Hosoda used this very clever pan that acted as a time skip, which I just loved. There's also a lot more CGI than what Hosoda usually works with. While noticeable, I felt that it helped me as a viewer to be whisked away with Kun on his adventure, so I had no problems with it. I actually cried multiple times throughout Mirai, not because it was an emotional film per se, but because of the realistic events that happen within the family. Like Kun crying because he thinks he's not cute anymore. My little brother did the same thing when he was a toddler. Oh, and how Kun learned to ride a bike and his father cheered. That gave me a flashback to when my dad taught me how to ride a bike on my 5th birthday. I practiced in my backyard on the grass, and my dad was just so happy to see me pedaling. These little memories differ from person to person, but at its core, it's something we can all relate to. So how should you go into Mirai? Analyze and dissect it? Well, you could, but for your first time viewing it, I think you should watch Mirai with a smile on your face. Laugh and take a trip down memory lane. Because even though we grew up in different households, we all had to learn how to clean up, obey our parents, and get along. Special thank you to GKIDS once again for allowing me to see Mirai before its US theatrical release. As always, we're teaming up to do a ticket giveaway so that you can see Mirai on December 5th or December 8th. Just click on the link below to enter. I also want to give a shout out to Chang Musty for donating to my Patreon. If you'd like a very special shout out in the next stream, video, or what have you, then please click on the Patreon link in the description to donate. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.